Hi guys, I'm Sean, you're watching Shopworx. We're going to get back at the 6-door again here. I've been gone for, well, back and forth a lot. Haven't had a chance to work on it for a few months here. I think I got my rear bumper figured out here, so we'll finish that up. Oh, I've got some cardboard back in here, or RV paneling I guess it is. Got some RV paneling back in here. Just keep burn marks away from the paint. Don't really want to hang a fire blanket in there. So what I'm planning to do is to weld the tab back in here. I've got it clamped, pushing in on polyurethane mounts here. So when I get this mounted back in, the real crappy spot to video, it's going to be back in behind there, kind of I guess a secret release or whatever you want to call it. But hopefully that'll hold it tight that way. And while I'm pulling in with that, I've got another bracket mounted here. Can't really show you with the clamp. I'm going to cut it down a little bit. I can always shim that boat bumper out. And I'm going to weld that on there to give it some rigidity that way, so it's not actually in theory working just on the hinge pin way over here. And then once that's done, then I can close up the rest of my pieces here on the bumper. Get them all closed up, get it buffed up, put my spot for the lights underneath. Got a piece going in back in here, cover the rest of the gap and the wires and fuel tank and all that. And spot for some markers under the bottom. So that's where we're headed to today. Well, so what you couldn't see there with the tire on was how it was mounting this thing in. It made it very fun to try to tack it back in here, but I needed the weight of the tire on it to make sure I had all the, everything set right there. I had this squished in here with the Bessie. Ooh, that's still hot. Had my urethane blocks in there. Everything all set up. And then I tacked the barrel on here. So on the back side, I've got another one of those T-pins. And what it pins into here is just a 1/2-inch piece of flat bar. And drilled the holes out. And originally I was going to go 3 polyurethane blocks here. I still might. I got enough space there if I just chamfer the edge like I did on the back side for the weld. Thinking about it. I don't know if I need it. Just the more you have, the less wear in general overall you get. So then we go to do them, paint it, blast and paint, and just pull the T-handles right out. This one here actually locks in with an Allen key. That was kind of cool. The other one I have doesn't. Once it cools, I'll put the polyurethane blocks in, put the tire on, and make sure everything's still lined up exactly the way I had it all clamped up. That's all cold. That is not. So we'll give it a little bit. So what I think I'm going to do here, I've just been using tin foil as a dust cap. Kind of molds to everything. That's been sitting that way for months now. What I think I'm going to do is screw this in here and figure out where I want this thing. I think I obviously want a stop somewhere over here where it's open to 90 degrees. So this way you're in a parking lot or just slightly over 90 degrees. Make sure the end gate comes down. And then I want another stop back over here somewhere. I'll probably put another two pieces of square stock or something on either side of the pin. And just make sure that works for when it opens. You don't have crunching your fender or your light or anything like that. You don't want no body damage. So once I get this all done up, I'm pretty much good to cap the ends of the bumpers in. I just wanted to leave it open in case I needed to get at something. I got a big access hole either side. Even love to drill and tap my other pieces there for my power feeds, but I don't think that's going to happen. And as you can see, I got some magnets set up under here for my little filler strip in here where I'm going to have a few marker lights in it. And get all that buffed up here, and she's going to be pretty much a done unit. Oh, what I've done here is I've got holes piloted in. It's going to be easier to drill once I get it welded up, I think. Every 8 inches here, one center and one every 8 inches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red LEDs there. What I'm doing in the middle, every 4 inches, I went and cut some chain link pieces there just to make sure I can tie wrap and support all the wires back and forth between everything there. So now we'll let that cool off and look at putting it on here in a little bit. Got it more or less buffed up here. I've built that so it's just touching it. Once the guy paints and box liners it and everything, I'll have a little more resistance in there. I can also cut a shim out of aluminum or stainless or something and shim that out a little bit more. That's pretty tight. And pretty hot. So, I've got my light bracket in here, going about 2 inches back in behind with it, and you can see it's got the magnets. It's not very straight. I'm gonna have to straighten it with a square as I go. Probably start center, work my way out. So, yeah. That should support that tire now anyway there. I'm getting older every day, so kind of nice to have something to set it on before you lift it up onto the bolts. One last thing here, once it cools off enough, cap the end and try to brace that in there a little better. in this gap filler here. Don't have any issues. Slowly coming along. Well, while I'm waiting for that to cool, I may as well start capping the end. Should look pretty good. what I'm doing is I'm putting a brace on here. Not sure if you can see, but whether I need it, I don't know. But I'm going to be capping it off that way. I figured I could bring it out, put a good hot bead in here, and stiffen it up that way. And then I can throw the tire back on. Bumper will be pretty close to being done. There's some other stuff I can't do till I pull it off. Don't want to pull it off until I'm ready to blast and paint it. Just end up sitting outside. At least here it's out of the way on the back. So I got to fill in the hole here. I had to notch it to fit over this inside there. Had it planned originally before I had this in and slid up, and it fit nice, but it is what it is. And, drill a few holes for the strain release for the power in the backside for the 6-wire for all the lights, and 110 or 120 for the block heater feed up to the front, and I'm going to have go both ways here. So anywho, I back in a lot, so kind of nice having a short cord. Somebody will steal a 10 or 15 footer instead of a 45 footer to go around to the front there. Usually 2 sizes I buy, so yeah. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to be putting these stops in, and you just use that as a spacer. Got some tin foil down here so I don't get anything on the seal surface or up in the bearing. Putting these in, and thought about putting a plate, you know, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and drilling holes in there, but you know how that'll trap water and rust. No time at all. Paint will break off where the pin goes in and everything. So here at least I can weld around the bottom, and should be pretty safe that way. So the camera turned off while I was doing this. Apparently I've got one stock here, so if I reach in behind the tire, pull it, it's not going to swing open if I'm parked at an angle or something. It won't go very far. Second thing is, if somebody forgets to latch it, you know, it's going to at least stop. It's not going to hammer out. It's got a few catches there before it swings out and hits something. If you're going down the highway, chances are you'd hear or feel or something. Somebody'd flag you down. So you pull the pin here, opens there. Now I can open it up to that position. Tailgate will clear everything dropping down. And from here, I go all the way 180, just in case I got to back up to something, so I'm not sticking out. And again, it won't come back and crunch the tin here. So that is about that. I had to do a little fine tuning with the rubber still, and basically some more cleanup when it comes off. I got some welding to do underneath there, but like I say, I want to keep it on here. Just I'll probably pull the tire carry off and see you get back pretty flush with the hitch there. Then I can start on the front stuff again, and a bunch of welding on parts where it attaches to the frame there. I got one side done, but I like to weld the second setup as well. So yeah, a little bit of cleanup still, and let's get that tire thrown on here and see what she looks like now. The whole idea of the bumpers, put some stress back on it. I don't have the polyurethane pucks in. We got to take just a little bit off the back there, but I got somewhere to set it. Figure out how I want to line up my studs there. Set it on. I also have enough gap here. If I go to a 37, it should still work. sloppy still. Like I say, the polyurethane's not in. But that'll work. It won't. Interesting. I'm gonna have to file that hole out just a blonde one. I put the tire on and it's too tight. Just enough to bind. Take the weight off and it works just fine. Well, try it again. Unlock it by pulling on that. Look where it's out of the way of the tailgate. See if I have enough room in here to clear the pile of stuff. And that's where it locks in. Gives me lots of clearance here where I'm not going to gunch any tin or anything. Gotta go up so I'm not on the rubber blocks. Locked in now. Well, there we are. So everything I got left to do on here now is just some welds on the underside there and some plates and whatnot. Then I have to drill and tap a 1/2 inch pipe thread in 2 spots to bring some wires in. All that I'm going to do when the bumper comes off and is ready for sandblast and paint. So final clean up on the welds. Anywho, that's the end of it. Like I say, sorry for being gone so long, but that's just the way it worked. And try to make some shorter videos here and have a few to get out. Hopefully I can get a couple before we're back and forth again here. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, like, subscribe, and hang along for the next one. See you then.